Okay, and then that brings us on to today. And today, as I say, is Sunday the 11th of December, so we're nearly at the end of Quest 36. And we went to St Vincent's Cathedral. Both Janice and I, we got some lovely, obviously, sadly we couldn't film in there properly as I'd love to and take you around and show you different things. But hopefully we've captured enough information for anyone to view on Facebook, Twitter and the websites of the symbology that's in the church, in the cathedral, and also the various pictures of stained glass windows and the tales that they tell. So hopefully we've captured enough there for you to see online if you get the chance. So St Vincent's Cathedral in St Malo, or Saint Malo as they say, Saint Malo, established in 1146 AD, but it's built on foundations of a very old church from 639 AD, but again it goes back before then. We're looking at about 5 BC to be precise, when the area started having some kind of habitation of human beings, as it were, the forms of, and it's linked to Lancelot de Spanairds, as we know, one of my great-grandfathers, 520 to 593 AD. So because it's linked to the land there, we know that the time is going to be before the 639 AD. So what an amazing cathedral. It was just lovely to walk around. It's quite deceiving. It's a bit like the TARDIS really. From the outside it looks quite average in size. But when you get into the place, it's got different levels to it, different sides to it. It's just worth it. If you ever get a chance, Saint-Malo is a beautiful place in France. Generally, as a rule, the people are so friendly and so lovely. The cathedrals, the buildings, the architecture, the shops, the eateries, everything's so nice about it. So I highly recommend anyone going to Saint-Malo, or Saint Malo, or however you want to pronounce it, but it's pronounced Saint-Malo. If you get a chance in your lifetime, go there. It's not far from England if you're in England. You know, Channel Tunnel Drive and a Channel ride and a 5.5 hour drive away. But you can get a ferry across to be nearer to it from Portsmouth. So yeah, there's no excuse not to go. Beautiful place. It is a national monument. It's been marked as a national monument of France, and quite rightfully so. Quite rightfully so. What a beautiful place. We also went to the Presbytery Holy Cross of St Savin. Interesting place. It's a Keystone Church there in Saint-Malo. Grail, professed to be there from 1655 AD through to 1699 AD, so some 44 years. It is said, there's a little thing in research in scripture that I found quite some time ago, and the little scripture when it's translated says basically that when one is at this sacred place, a secret shall be given to the receiver. Yeah. It doesn't mean that you're the receiver, obviously. It's a play on words in its translation. So you've got to work out the riddle. It's a riddle, basically. And what it's saying, it's one of the riddles of the Grail. And that's a fascinating thing, because there are different riddles in different places and different symbols and different faces that will show certain aspects of the Grail. But you have to somehow put the jigsaws together, the little pieces, to make it complete. Whether people ever do that, who knows? Are they meant to do it? Who knows? Connected to Lancelot de Spanairds, very nice place, worth every visit. Again, Saint Malo or Saint-Malo is just an amazing place, really, to be fair. So here we are in the here and now, and I'll just tell you, just to tie off the video, what we're doing. So we'll be travelling from Rosa-Cousin up to the Neville area, the chapel of St John the Baptist, in oddly the place of Neville, or not so odd. Now we know that that's where my surname comes from, and it's amazing to be able to go to that place tomorrow and actually feel it, the energies there. It's a little village, like a hamlet. It's not much there, but it's got the chapel there. So whether that will be open or not, I don't know, but it'd be just nice to see it and photograph it and just feel the place really. Now, it's a place of origin, as I say, for the Neville surname, because when Lord Mordred Fitzdolphin died, the estate obviously went to his wife, who was originally Lady Isabel de Neville. Now, obviously, with young Robert, he was still a young man, and he took the name of his mother, so the estate became part of the Neville legend, as it were, at that point in time. From there, it started the Neville surname, from Lord, because he was now known as Lord Robert Neville. So the of Neville, de Neville, had gone, or de Neville had gone, and it's now Lord Robert Neville. Now, he's my 22nd great-grandfather, and he was born in Raby, Durham, County Durham, as we know. That was a strong, or Raby, as most people say these days, Raby, in County Durham. And he was born in 1172 and died in 1248, 76 years old. His mother's family, we know, are of French origin and go backwards. So we've gone on from the paternal side to the maternal side, and that's how the name was created. So we're going there tomorrow, which will be absolutely fascinating. And I can't wait to get some pictures and post them on the media, as it were. So we've got that. We've then got 3 more places that we're going to go to before we head back to Blighty. We've got the Cathedral of Notre Dame in Rouen. Amazing place. Origins of 257 AD. Current building was opened in 1876. Connected to Lord Robert Neville, obviously. We're then going to go to Temple Saint Eloi in Rouen as well. Connected to Lord Robert Neville. Built on an old ground and rebuilt in 1514 AD, but was damaged in the bombings during the war. Coincidentally, the cathedral in Saint Malo was also damaged in the war in May of 1944 as well, and that had to be reconstructed and rebuilt, which is why there's not many original stained glass windows left in that cathedral. The same is going to be here at this cathedral. It will have been renovated, reconstructed as best as they could, but there'll be things that look a little bit out of place because they look like modern stained glass windows in such an old building, but that's the reason why, because of World War II, had some damage to it. We're also going to go and have a little trip across, not too long, it only takes about 40 minutes to be fair, from Rouen, and we're going to go to Dieppe. Now Dieppe, I quite like Dieppe, it's a funny little place really, but it's an interesting place as well. The Church of St Remy there, again connected to Lord Robert Neville, built in 1522 AD, but the work had to stop in 1560. No one knows why the work had to stop, it just stopped. And it wasn't financial. Because you think, oh, I've run out of budget or money. It wasn't that at all, just suddenly stopped. There is a theory that it stopped dead in 1560 AD because they found something that they shouldn't have found. Interesting, isn't it? Isn't that interesting? So, and at that time in 1605, go forward, bearing in mind the area, in 1605 AD had the Wars of Religion. So there was the religious wars that started. Another point in time to be quite interested of in the Dieppe area. So we've got 4 more main places to go to before we conclude the quest. Hopefully you at some point you'll look at the social media, you'll see the pictures from both Janice and I. You'll see the various silent videos, dare I say, that we've done and created. We always live in hope that we can get a decent video with me going around and showing you different things in the church at that specific point in time. Obviously it's not always possible because there's lots of people around, it's their visit as well, or there's a service or ceremony going on. But needless to say, we will capture as much data, as much information as we possibly can to share with you guys, as long as we can, which is good. So that's really wraps it up for Quest 36. There's a lot of information that I spoke about in this. If there's anything I can take away from this particular 3-week journey, I think it has to be 3 words really. Morality, that I've already mentioned. Tolerance, which I think is an important part in life that we all lack so much of. and we really do. And the last thing is, I think we need to look at how we behave, i.e. how we act and how we do. So, going back to the point and purpose of life is, are you, am I, are we as individuals doing what we are meant to do in our existence on this earth in this very short period of time that we have? And I think if anyone sits down and says, well, no, I'm not, or I need to do that, I want to do that. It's not about what you want to do, it's about what you have the gut feeling that you should be doing, and listen to that gut feel and do it. That's the main thing. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. I certainly have. It's been a very interesting ride.